Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here outside today and it is fall for us. It's the beginning of August, mid-August really, and that's when things really start winding down from a gardening standpoint, mostly because we are actually in danger of getting frost in the next 3 weeks or so. So our gardening season is winding down, which is why most of our garden has been harvested and all that stuff. But there is still time for me to answer questions here and there and do a few more videos that people have been asking for. So today I wanted to discuss whether you should till up a garden bed that you define in your yard, or whether you should do what I said last week and cut with a box shovel or a spade and remove the top layer. So the answer is, it depends. And yes, Arwen is hanging out here chomping, so she's just going to join us. But if we were going to put a garden bed here, okay, I have two options. Well, I have three options, but we're only talking about putting the garden bed into the ground today. Instead of building up and using a raised planter, we are talking about going into the ground. So if you're going into the ground, you literally have only two options. You can either till this, usually using a rototiller. This would not be fun to till by hand, because this is really, really solid grass, and it would be really not fun to till by hand. So usually you would use, thank you, Shadowfax. Hi, buddy. Lovely man. Yeah. So you would normally use a rototiller to till it up, or you would remove the top layer, and usually you do that with a spade or a box shovel. So which option is best for you? That depends. We were watching the Northern Lights and the meteor shower the other night, so there's a telescope. But anyway, so the answer to whether you rototill or remove the top layer depends on what is growing there. So this is bluegrass. It doesn't look blue, but that's what it's called. This stuff here is bluegrass, and it's a devil to remove, okay? You also might have things like quackgrass or Bermuda grass or something else. A lot of the grasses that we use for lawns are really tenacious. They're a pain in the butt to get rid of. So because this is what I've got, tilling this would not help. So you might, for example, define, let's say we've defined a 12 by 12 area that we're going to turn into a garden, and we till it up. If we just till this grass, this nonsense grass, if we just till this up into the soil and then try and plant something, basically what's going to happen is we are going to end up with this grass just growing right back, because it's a pain in the butt. The reason we use grass for lawns is mostly because it spreads really well. Okay, you put down some grass seed and it takes root and it just basically explodes. It takes over everything. It's so incredibly invasive. So all of this grass, here's DK, but all of this grass would be completely ridiculous to remove. Okay, if we just tilled it under, it would just come back over and over again, and it would choke out whatever I tried planting. So because of that, if I were doing a 12 by 12 garden bed, I would cut with a box shovel into the ground and remove the top layer of grass, just to get rid of this grass, because it'll just keep coming back. So if you have something like that, or even like clover is really tenacious and hard to get rid of, if you have a ground cover that is really, really hard to get rid of, you're probably going to want to cut and remove. Rototilling or tilling is good for areas, one, that have already been used as a garden and are maybe just overgrown. Then you can just till it all up and start fresh. Or areas that don't have anything quite as tenacious as grass. That is a dog hole, by the way. That's vodka's hole. Tequila's hole is over there. Don't ask. They're Great Pyrenees. They dig. But basically, rototilling is excellent if you don't have this kind of tenacious plant in the way. So if you have an established lawn that you're trying to get rid of to turn an area into a garden, you're going to have to cut and remove. I mean, you can till it under if that's what you want to do, but it'll just keep coming back. Okay, it's really annoying. You actually have to get rid of this plant. You have to cut it out and get rid of it. And then I would use edging on the edges of your garden, just because it's such a pain in the butt. It is so difficult to make it go away. Okay, this stuff is so annoying. So it's not that I don't like grass. I actually don't really like grass. So we're in the process. We're going to slowly replace grass with a different ground cover just because I don't really like it. But that's not the point. The point is, this stuff is tenacious, and it's just going to sit here, and it's going to keep coming back. But tilling has its place. So like this little garden bed, I just till it up because it's already an established garden bed. You till it up if you need to, and you till under all the annoying stuff, and then you just plant fresh. You're fine. But if you have something that's established, something that is really difficult to remove, you're going to want to get out and cut it. So that was a question I received last week about, could I just till it up? Yeah, you could. But if you just till something like this, it's coming back, and it's just going to keep coming back, and it's going to choke out everything you try to plant. So best case scenario, remove this with a box shovel or a spade, take off that top inch or two where you see the roots of the grass, and then actually dispose of that grass not near your garden, because it'll just keep coming back. It's so annoying. And don't forget to edge your garden bed as well if you're going into the ground, just because if you don't edge the garden bed, the grass that's out here is going to come back into this area that you are trying to turn into a garden bed, and it's just going to be a mess. So make sure you edge your garden, and yeah, you may want to just cut your losses and actually chomp out the grass. Okay, you actually might want to just cut it out. Just get down there. You can smother it, you can till it, you can do all those things, but my preferred method is literally just cut it out and get rid of it, because it's such a pain in the butt. I know I've said that a few times, but that is the answer to that particular question that somebody had asked me last week. Anyway, that is about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Good luck getting your garden beds ready for next season, because we're kind of too late in the season for anyone to start planting now. We'll see you tomorrow.